Ben, thanks very much. As our friends from Netwave are French, they have asked us to present on their behalf. So who is Netwave? Quite simply, Netwave is the most amazing technology which boosts the performance of e-commerce and online advertising using proper AI, originally developed for the French nuclear industry. To date, they've never lost an A/B test. So when we talk about boosting performance, what are we talking about, and what sort of sectors are we talking about? Well, ultimately, where Netwave comes into their own is for product recommendations, personalized advertising, and actually content personalization on any form of site. And why is this needed? Well, to be honest, in the good old days, when you had a shopkeeper knew who you were and was able to actually make recommendations based on understanding your behavior. So that was great. And you might say, okay, well, these days, you know, the likes of Amazon are really good at doing it. Therefore, when I buy a product, and this is a live example, a real example, someone bought a baseball bat and they were actually advised to buy a balaclava with it. So recommendations do not always work perfectly, and using the best quality technology to deliver a better experience is key. So why is Netwave better than other solutions out there? Well, quite simply, it uses I'm sorry about this, my computer's going mad. It uses a completely different type of approach, which they call inductive technology, as opposed to the normal deep machine learning approach from other companies. So rather than visitors being shoehorned into segments, the way Netwave works is it's the equivalent of a salesperson for every single visitor. Traditional systems focus on what's sold in the past. Netwave focuses on what is selling now, in the here and now. So an event happens, something happens on television, someone turns up with a dress, people will immediately start looking for that dress. What sold in the past has no relevance to the interest in that specific dress at this moment in time. Traditional systems, you have to do the work, whereas with Netwave, the AI actually does the work for you. And rather than being controlled by stats and historical data, you brief the AI and it just goes off and does what it needs to do. So what does that deliver in real terms? Well, typically the automated e-commerce function for a typical e-commerce company will save 1 to 4 full-time staff. You'll typically see a 10% uplift in revenue, and even things like email will deliver typically a more than 40% increase in engagement. That must mean that it's really difficult to integrate. Absolutely not. We just require access to your tag management system and a product feed, and typically we're ready to go in 3 to 6 days. Reporting is also a doddle. There are a suite of tools which allow you to see how you're performing, and the way the AI works, it allows you to differentiate between all types of visitors, whether it's a first-time visitor, whether it's someone you know something about, return visitor, etc., etc. And in terms of real case studies, well, 3 examples for you. Francis Lefebvre in France, a professional trade publisher, 28% of their site revenues now come from Netwave. La Redoute, as they call it in France, or La Redoubt over here, saw a 51% increase in banner clicks, and good old Morrison's saw a 55% increase in click-through revenues. And so to finish off, retention goes up, revenue per visit goes up, conversion increases, basket value increases, and pages viewed increase as well. That's it.